Happy up the was Wednesday, fish keepers. I hope Monday and Tuesday have been good to you, and Wednesday is now going to be spectacular because we've made it to hump day. What are we doing today, however? We're about 10 minutes away from jumping into the Fanatics Friday coffee date / the 3 Let's Talk Aquariums / my recording studio / my office to record 3 Idiots Talk Aquariums podcast. This week we're talking about volume versus footprint, so that should be quite a fun and interesting conversation. If you're obviously not going to watch it live because you're watching the recording late, I'm going to chuck a wee hooziki up there for you to click the button and watch it afterwards. It'll be fun times. I recommend you do it. We should have our plant orders in this morning, so we'll get packing on them. That'll be number 1 priority. Number 2 priority is be finishing anything else along here, bringing any more fish out into the shop. I think we've got them all. There might be 1 or 2 more to go. And then once we've cleared that lot out, I'll be jumping onto the computer machine and make sure all the profiles are up to date, all these stock counts up to date, all that kind of stuff, so everything is ready to rock and roll on the website for everybody. If I've got all of that done and I've got some time to spare, I'll be getting in through here doing water changes. Like I said earlier in the week I was going to do them. I haven't quite got there yet. So it'll be water change Wednesday for some of these tanks. Which brings me to the algorithm engager. Following on from yesterday's, do you test your water? Are you team water change or team not water change? I, for one, am definitely team water change. I like to do water changes. I try to do them every week. I always encourage people to do their water changes every week. There's a reason behind that. If you happen to miss a week and you get it done every fortnight, it's not the end of the world. If you kind of encourage once a fortnight, once a month, and you start missing it, it begins to add up in time. I know there's a lot of things that go into it. High nitrates are normally a good testing point to whether or not you're doing them or not. There's a recommendation I always swing for once a week. So today's question on the algorithm engager is, do you do water changes? And remember, the reason we're doing that is to get more people involved in the Fanatics Friday coffee date. The more engagement we get on these videos, the more chance those videos get shown out on the world of YouTube. And for the record, it is working, so you guys are freaking legendary. Enough yapping, time to get yapping on the podcast. I'll see you on the other side. Hope to see you actually in the podcast. Still too early to see whether or not the lights are going to go on today. I'll update you when the other lights turn on, I suppose. Give me a wave, Ryan. Give me a wave. Give me a wave. That's not a wave. Come on. Come on. How are you meant to promote people coming and watching our live stream and being involved in our podcast if you're pulling the fingers at them? Come on, buddy. Give us a wave. Come on.
There's no waving today. I'm sick today, so I'm not waving.
Are you? Well, you're always sick and deprived. Fine, no wave, whatever. Let's do the podcast. That was super fun. There is an ongoing, long-running joke about Ryan and his baldness. If you don't watch the podcast, listen to the podcast, you may not know about this. There's an ongoing joke about Ryan and his baldness. And there seems to have been some listeners that have been completing request forms from various websites about his baldness and a few other issues, directing his way to his email address. It's been hilarious. Some of the people that watch have got an incredible sense of humour, and it works really well. So if you've not got amongst the podcast, you probably should. It's quite fun, it's quite hilarious, and we do talk a little bit about aquariums from time to time. If you do watch, please feel free to continue to send random request forms to hair loss clinics, erectile dysfunction clinics, and all sorts of other fun and weird things towards Ryan, because it is hilarious. His details are all on the internet, easy enough to find. It is just brilliant. Also, if you've got any questions for the podcast itself, email us at podcast3idiots@gmail.com. That is the end of my little bit about this, but yeah. We have a feeling we know who might be sending the request forms. We think it might be one of the watchers, as well as one of the watchers that watch this. I've got my eye on you. I know who you are. I know you like hot plasoma, and I know you've got an order coming from me today, so I've got my eye on you. I think it might be you. If it's not you, and it's somebody else, well played. No plants just yet. I was hoping there'd be a box of plants or two sitting there, but we're not there yet. Hopefully, very soon. Alright, so the recording is done, so next thing for me to do is upload the audio onto the podcast machine. So it's pretty simple, it takes a few minutes. Do some stuff, do some things, click some buttons, and like that, we're away. So yeah, that's my next job for the day. Upload the 3DS Aquariums podcast onto all of the audio podcast players. It gets released audio-wise Sunday at 9 AM in New Zealand time. Alright, podcast has been uploaded. Time to answer, well, I've just gone through and answered all of the questions and comments from yesterday's video. Much appreciate every single one of you. It's a good time. So thank you very much for that. It's fantastic. I've just noticed that we are at 3,299 subscribers. Who wants to be lucky 2,300? Hopefully, by the time this video is watched, we get to this point, we have 2,300. If not, and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, brother or sister, fish keeper among us. Well, I guess here's our answer. No. No, they are not turning on again today. Not happy days. They're not easy to see, sorry, because they've just darted away and they're on the black background, but I'd really appreciate it if somebody would buy these 3 red terrors that I've got here. Suitable for a big aggressive American tank. They're really holding up the works, and I really need to use this aquarium again, please. So if there's anybody out there really keen on some nice, angry, aggressive American cichlids, please get in touch with me. Take all 3 of them. I'm happy to cut you a deal on the ticketed price. I'd really like them to go so I can put some more fish in here. Please and thank you. And this right here is what you don't really want to see. An African cichlid tank basically means there is too many fish and not enough hiding spaces for them. Put them in yesterday. So far so good. I'll work out some more rock structures today, I think, just to make everything a bit more comfortable for them for the time being. But yeah, that's not really what you want to see. You want to see them hanging around rocks and doing other rocky stuff. So it's just gone midday, my plants haven't arrived. So I've started doing a little bit of fumbling around with my paperwork and realised that I have made a colossal cock up. I've been sitting here thinking that this list here is this week's list of plants that I ordered. This is last week's list, which means I haven't actually done a list for this week, which means I haven't sent my order through to any of my suppliers, which means there's no plants actually coming, which means I haven't been able to fulfill people's plant orders at this moment right now. So I'm very apologetic. I'm very sorry for anyone that's waiting for plants right now. First thing I'll do as soon as I push the off button of this is do my plant order right now, get it rid of my suppliers. And I immensely apologise to everybody. This is 100% on me. My hand is up. I'm sorry, I've made a giant mistake. I just obviously totally overlooked it on Monday and thought I'd gone through everything, but I just haven't. So I greatly apologise. I'm going to get onto it right now. Sorry. I can't say anything else other than that. I'm sorry. So after that colossal cock up, I've kind of had to reground myself. So I've just chucked on a little bit of Uncle Bob, get myself just relaxed and calm a little bit. Got myself a coffee being made right now, and I'm doing the fun things in fish keeping. Wiki water changes. So we're going to get through this corner here right about over the next 2 hours. I've also realised that I haven't done a heck of a lot on my pile of junk over the last few days. So I might, being that I've not got plant orders today coming in, I might get a little bit of work on them over this afternoon as well. Cheers and up the wires. Relatively rare sighting of Mr. Starlight Bristol Nose. Maybe it's peppermint, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I've got a few of them in here. Another one's taking up a log. A cave, hasn't done much, but he's taken up a cave. You can see one hanging around, so that's cool. all the awesomeness for your day. Fuck. No other words. Hose popped out of the hole. It's not a water change at the fish room if there's not a flood. Shitballs, Batman. Alright. Something more for me to do. Let's clean this mess. Yo! Just add a little more context to it. Water everywhere except where it's meant to be. Literally everywhere. Yep. Good one, Richard. This is a pretty good one. I think I want to put this one in context. Here's my shoe. It's not bad. It's been a long time since I've done this. Serves me right. Don't know why, but it serves me right for something. Oh well. Onwards and upwards. So needless to say, I'm pretty deflated after that. I'm going to fill up the tanks, finish the water change, repack a couple orders, and just sit back on the computer and do some computery stuff. Because yeah, that's just definitely taking the air out of my bubble for the day. So it is what it is. One of these things, I guess. Oh well, that was a heck of a mess. My shoes and socks are sodden. The ground's still wet, but feeding these beautiful frontosa nearly makes it worth it. Such cool fish. Just gorgeous. Again, a little bit of afternoon sun, which is neat. Just showing off a bit of colour on them. They're just beautiful. So that's how I'm going to spend my afternoon. Good times. Up the wires. Okay. My feet are saturated, my toes are really wet, and I can feel that they're getting all pruny in my shoes. That being said, we at least got the electric yellow profile sorted, so that's a bonus. The black nights I will do probably tomorrow because my mind is not there. So, that is it for Wednesday. What started with such a hiss and a roar has ended in such an awful, horrible feeling. My toes are cold, my feet are cold, my legs are cold. But that's okay. Tomorrow's Thursday, we'll do it all again, we'll get some more stuff out, and I managed to get my water changes done, so there are some silver linings in here. Have a good one, team. Happy fish keeping, and catch you all later.